Well, howdy, 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 nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys and girls, and welcome to this Dr. Snurf running around on my chest. I originally had him in my pocket, and I was going to bring him out of my pocket, but he didn't want to be in my pocket. He's not scared of being in my pocket. He just wants to go and not hunker down in my pocket. But this is Dr. Snurf. Here we go, little guy. I like to, as much as possible, keep their feet in contact with things because they are, of course, ground/burrowing creatures. So when their feet isn't touching the ground, that's scary for them. So I like to keep their feet touching things. Here we go, little guy. He's a cutie, but I'm going to put him back into his cage now. Ooh, little guy, you're going to fall. Here, let me scoop you up and then set you back down. There we go. So into his cage. There we go. There we go, Dr. Snurf. Yay, Dr. Snurf. He's such a good little guy. Come on. There's not a great amount of support for the lids, so I have to make sure they're pulled far enough over to rest on the inner lip of the sides. That way they don't click shut, and they also don't just rest with the plastic having to hold itself open. So many of them have got broken sides where it's just broken. So I got to make sure the broken end is on one side, and then the unbroken end is on this side where I slide it open, because otherwise it just, instead of being across like that, it just goes grunk, falls down instantly. So, hey, plastic, you know how it goes. Also, just as a really quick aside, it's 6:55 because I had therapy today, and it is almost pitch black outside. I'm starting to be able to see the leaves on the trees out there, so it's starting to finally get light. But wow, it just seems like yesterday when I'd wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning from pain, and it would be 7 o'clock bright outside. And now it's almost black out there, and well, hey, and it's raining, finally it's autumn here in Shelton. After our unseasonably warm summer. No, unseasonably cool summer. It wasn't unseasonably warm. The rest of the world is burning, but Shelton was actually very pleasant this summer. Weird. Which is weird. I mean, normally the past 5 years they've been terrible, 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 and this one went, yeah, it's actually kind of nice. So next year is probably going to be back up to everyone's dying again. So yay. Also, as a quick aside, that spider up there is still, well, it's either her or, of course, a different spider came along, killed and ate her during the night, and took up her web. That could have happened. I mean, I'm not going to get up real close and look to make sure it's the same spider, because while I have a parasocial relationship with that spider, it's not that close of a parasocial relationship. As long as there's just a spider up there that's not that big and it looks like the one that's been there. And it seems to have learned. I mean, I talked about the one time. I mean, her web is just up there in the corner between web and ceiling, and her web is right here. And I don't mind that. And only once she was really moving around, and I swung my hand over the monitors and then tore off one of her guidelines she'd put on a monitor. After that, no. She's stayed away from the monitors. She's just been up there. Now, the other day, over in the window, just because, like I say, I have it open about this far so the cat can come in and out. And she's spending a lot of time just outside. Over the past 36 hours, I've seen her maybe 2 hours. So. But I keep the window open, and it's a sideways sliding thing, so it's really tall. And even though it's only going this far wide, so it's like a meter and a half tall gap of that wide. And so yesterday, up at the top, there was a spider and a spider web in the window. Today, the spider has moved 6 inches into the room. Still in the same general area, just in and off to the side of it. Now, I know it's kind of like the Spider Chronicles now, and anyone who's even slightly arachnophobic would go like, how could you possibly do that? And even 7 years ago, I would have been like, oh my God, how could you do that? And now I'm like, I really like that spider up there. And even if it's not her, but as stated, it's okay. And the spider over there in the window, that actually made me laugh when the spider was from the window to actually inside. It's like, oh, hello. So, how about that? Now, of course, as it gets colder and colder, there will be fewer and fewer spiders running around. And that's okay. Definitely a thumbs up. I mean, spiders are spiders. Exposure therapy actually works. That's one of the big things, is not being afraid of them, but forcing myself to be closer and around them just because I was afraid of them. And now at almost 57, after being arachnophobic for all these years, suddenly I'm not really. Exposure therapy, thumbs up for that. I did a partial walkies last night. Now, if I just walk from southern Shelton to downtown Shelton and then back, it's maybe a 2-mile walk, maybe. So what I did was I took that loop up to the top of Olympic Highway South, and then I walked that loop all the way down into downtown and around, made a wider loop coming back. So I maybe 3 miles, 4 if I was lucky. But even at that, old key smokes, my legs and back were done. And in fact, yesterday, I don't know what I did. Pulled a muscle, did something. My lower back, my left lower back has been hurting like it usually does, from a decade and more ago. Okay, I mixed up my tenses, but hopefully you know what I meant. It hurts like it used to way back a decade ago. So I pulled something. The joint on my left side is just not doing good. The thing is, remember, your sacrum that your spine attaches to, the big old sacrum thing that attaches your spine to your pelvis, that has 2 joints, and there's only 2 where it connects to your pelvis. It only connects one on each side. Your whole pelvis comes around and then goes thunk into your sacrum. That's an actual joint. And I have had so much trouble with these joints, and right now that left one, oh my God, it hurts so much. Thumbs up for that, huh? But it was nice. I made a nice walk, and as long as I'm careful, I'm not dying from the pain. I just gotta hope that this clears up fairly soon. Otherwise, joyous. Gotta love that. But I did exercise, and that's good. I want to get back into exercising. My pulse, I go walkies, 6-mile walkies, every other day. I just want to go walkies every day again, when it's not raining, so I don't get soaked. Because my pulse, which when I went on a 6-mile walkies every single day, was at 44. Now, my pulse is between 55 and 60. I am no longer as healthy as I was. My weight, which was around 175, is about 185. Between 185 and 190 now. So I need to exercise more again because I don't want my cardiovascular system going back anywhere to horrible. It's been good for a long time. My pulse, your average pulse, the average pulse of the average human being is anywhere between 72 and 92. The faster, of course, the not so good. Ooh, itchy. But that's the average. And so my average has been up in the 70 to 90 range for most of my life. Except during those periods like right now when I do something and get healthy and then it goes but then if I'm not careful, it goes right back up. So, yeah, I don't want it to get any worse. So, thumbs up for that. Also, as a really quick aside, I wanted to talk about this because it's really silly. It's annoying and not annoying at the same time. I've played the game Dragon's Dogma. Now, Dragon's Dogma has your character be an awakened, there I'll speak English, character, where your heart is actually torn out of your body by a dragon, but you're left alive. And so you've got to fight and do things to save yourself, and as you're trying to save yourself and take revenge, you're discovering more about the world, etc., etc., etc. Also in the game, they have things called pawns, where even if you're not playing online, you can play online, because the pawns are just AI characters that you can actually train your pawns and then upload them so that other people can use them. And it's really weird, but the point being, you've got a party of semi-autonomous, intelligent characters. Now, if you're going along in the game and kind of rushing, within like 2 hours you'll come across this. If you're not rushing and just taking your time, it'll happen, but you reach a point in the story when you're going along fairly early, as stated, where you wake up in a camp, you come out of the camp, and then this three-headed snake, a great big old hydra, crashes through the gate, and then you've got to fight the hydra. Now, if something happens and it eats one of your characters, it's not just game over, because it just swallows your character. Because it's a long neck, and then there's the body down here, it shows the animation of it goes, Gawum! And then you see just underneath the jaw this great big old bulge in its throat. And it takes a long time as you're being swallowed down the throat until you reach the base of the throat, at which point, you're really close, and then it'll say game over, because you pass from the throat into the body, at which point you pass into the stomach, and really there's not much longer you're gonna be around, so game over. Now, normally, if your character gets swallowed, your other two pawns will be there and they'll beat on it, and then you can get out, and then you continue the fight. One of your pawns gets swallowed, same thing. You and the other pawn will attack, and generally it's supposed to be a difficult fight, but it's not a game ender. It's just a fight. This happens to be game end is you're going to be digested alive. Thumbs up for that. Now, the thing that was both frustrating and, to me, made it a satisfying character arc is when my character came out, she was walking through the place, and then the hydra came in through a fence and then stopped in such a point where no one could get to it. So all of my pawns were running around but couldn't get to the head that went glump and swallowed my character. So all of the pawns are running around, and the hydra's just sitting there, and I couldn't do a thing except watch for like 2 minutes as all the pawns are running around, and it's just slowly being swallowed, and then you're dead, game over, as it passed into the body. And it was frustrating because, of course, I wanted to play the game. I'd reached this point, and now I can't do anything, and it's game over. Except I've got to watch this game over without being able to do anything. And yeah, that was intensely frustrating. And on the other hand, it was like, wow, that is a really satisfying character arc. Where my character, she's killed by a dragon but lives, and then like 3 days later is swallowed whole and digested alive by a hydra. And what I imagined is, after this had happened and I'm sitting watching the "you're dead" screen as I went, I imagined the conversation going on between my character and her pawns, where they're going, "We're going to get you out," and it's like, she goes, it's like, "No, it's all right, everybody. It's okay. Don't worry. Everything's going to be fine. But awakened, we've got to get you out of there. If we don't, you'll be swallowed whole and digested alive." And then, I know you're trying to help, but it's okay. Just come back and check on me tomorrow. Tomorrow evening. Everything will be okay. Awakened, if we do this, you'll be digested alive. We can't just, everything will be awakened. And then of course the hydra with a full belly and just slithers off to digest its meal in peace. So yeah, it was a satisfying character arc in that point. She was swallowed whole and digested alive, and both she and the Hydra were down with that. So the game came to a satisfying end while being intensely frustrating and short at the same time. How about that? Definitely a thumbs up. Oh, holy smokes. I've got... My monitor is in that sweet spot that's too close for my far off part of my bifocals, I can speak English, and yet too far away for the close-up part of the bifocals. So my monitor is still blurry, even wearing glasses, so thumbs up for that. Anyway, though, I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments in my community tab. I don't think I have 25 people to thank, but at least I'm going to thank as many people as are there. I'm not reading the comments right now. I'm going to read them later. Thumbs up each one I do, answer as many as I can. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm an American English speaker. We're just not good at that. And if I get lost, even though I count in American Sign Language, with my depression and fibro and more, I'm very sorry. But we have Shravan, thank you very, very much. And Perfect Tragedy, greatly appreciated and good to see you. Kathy Kids Cat, thumbs up and good to see you as well. Laser Boy, I don't get them either. Thank you very, very much. And Russian Timing, thumbs up and thank you. Kyram Boss, thank you very, very much. Paladin Walliam, greatly appreciated. Mahiki32, I want to answer your comment, so hopefully I'll be able to do that soon. Esau Nagar, hello and thank you very, very much. And Type, greatly appreciated. Colin Reisenauer, thumbs up and thank you. Maricha Pola, I'm nowhere close, but thank you very, very much. And Seda Magalniki, I'm, again, nowhere close, but thank you so very, very much. At least I'm trying, just not succeeding. Arto the Wanderer, thumbs up. And Potatotron, greatly appreciated. Stock Verkest, thumbs up and thank you. Max_Rogue, greatly appreciated. Merrily Cachero, greatly appreciated and good to see you in comments. And then a name all in Cyrillic, so I'm very, very sorry I don't know how to pronounce that, but A Lemon Pie 407, 2,000 light years without internet. That's kind of like that old Rolling Stones song. Thumbs up, very, very cool. And ASAP Frostbite, greatly appreciated. Wild Boy 5699. Yeah, I actually said that right. Thumbs up and thank you very much. And last but not least, Angry Hobo 212. Son of a gun, I actually had 25 people I could thank, though that was mighty, mighty close. Greatly appreciated, each and every one of you. You get me out of my head, into the world, dealing with real people. Greatly appreciated. I have therapy today, so I'm not really in a rush. In fact, I'm doing pretty good for time, so that's definitely a thumbs up. It is 11 minutes after 7 o'clock, and yeah, at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing my therapy online because I can't afford to drive, but still. If you could check out my various links, I have Twitter, Facebook, GoFundMe, Patreon.com, NearlySeniorCitizen.com. If you could donate to my GoFundMe campaign or become a Patreon.com patron like one of these beautiful and awesome people, that would be beautiful and awesome. But if you cannot donate or you simply do not donate, I do take all good wishes and I deposit them in the bank of my heart where I draw interest, so thank you very much. If you could toss me a like, I do appreciate all the positive validation I get for my existence. Definitely a thumbs up. Plus, YouTube really likes it if you hit those buttons, any form of engagement. They definitely like, so thank you very much. If you could subscribe to the channel, that would be very cool, greatly appreciated. I would understand if you did not wish to, but if you are down with it, I will do my very best to keep you entertained from now until the literal end of time. Very, very cool, definitely a thumbs up. Well, hokey smokes, I've got this video. I've got another video that I recorded and I need to edit, and then I'm working on more song mutilations. I'm trying to get stories written. I really need to somehow find a way that I can get back on and be able to afford to get back on antidepressants so I can have a little bit more energy, so I can actually write. I actually thought about that while I was out walking, going, why am I expending all my mental energy thinking on this stuff if I don't do anything actually with it? What's the point of expending all this mental energy on it if I'm not going to do anything with it? So, oh, hokey smokes. You take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side, my friend, and that is a very good thing. Now, these days, I'm not even shooting for the full 20 minutes. It's just as long as I'm close, we're good. So you have a great day, and I will see you on the flip side, my friend.